You see your dog every single day, right? But what if I told you they've been trying to talk to you this whole time, and you've just been missing the conversation? Well, today, we're going to decode that hidden language. We're going to tap into that hidden frequency. I love this quote. It just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Dogs do not speak human language, but that does not mean they are silent. And that's exactly what we're digging into. They aren't silent at all. They're speaking a really complex language built on sound, on frequency, and most importantly, on intent. So, yeah, what are they saying? That's the million-dollar question, right? Well, let's get into it. We're going to break down exactly what all those barks and growls and whines actually mean. All right, first things first. Before we can decode anything, we have to tackle the single biggest misconception most of us have about why our dogs make noise in the first place. So the common belief, the thing we've all kind of thought at some point, is that barking is just, well, noise, you know? It's this random, instinctual reaction to a mailman or a squirrel. Just meaningless sound. But the reality, oh, it is so much more interesting than that. Barking isn't random. Not at all. It's information. Think about that. Every single bark is a data packet sent with a clear purpose. And once you know the rules, you can actually start to read it. Okay, so if we're gonna call it a language, then it has to have rules, right? Like a kind of grammar. And it absolutely does. It's all built on a few core elements of sound that dogs can manipulate with, honestly, incredible precision. So let's break down this grammar. You've got pitch, that's the emotional tone. Then rhythm, that's basically the sentence structure. Timing gives you the context of the conversation, what's happening right now. And duration tells you the intensity. You put all those pieces together and suddenly you have a language that is surprisingly detailed. Let's just take pitch, for example. This is so simple, but it's huge. A high pitch, that's your dog saying, hey, I'm friendly, let's play. That classic playful yip. But a low pitch, that's a whole different story. I mean business. Stay back. It's that deep rumbling growl that you just know you shouldn't ignore. All right, so we've got the grammar down. Now let's start building our dog dictionary. We're going to decode some of the most common sounds that, if you're a dog owner, you definitely hear every single day. You can really see how the structure becomes the message here. That short, sharp, alert bark. It's like a single exclamation point. What was that? The excitement bark, that fast, repetitive woof, 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 is pure urgency. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And then you have the warning bark. Low, long, sustained. There's no mistaking that one. It's a clear signal, stay back. Okay, let's talk about growling, because this might be one of the most important and misunderstood signals of all. We humans, we hear a growl and our brains just scream aggression. We think it's the start of a fight. But in their language, a growl is actually a boundary signal. It's a very clear request for space. It's your dog trying to prevent a fight by saying, hey, I am really uncomfortable right now. And this is absolutely critical to understand. If you punish a dog for growling, you are not fixing the problem. You're just taking away the warning signal. It's like disabling a fire alarm because you don't like the noise. The dog is still uncomfortable, but now they might just skip the warning and go straight to a bite. It is communication, not misbehavior. And then there's whining, another fascinating tool in their kit. First off, it signals emotional intensity. Could be anxiety, could be excitement, could be frustration. The duration is the key, though. Those short little bursts, that's usually anticipation. Think, come on, throw the ball. But that long, drawn-out whine, that often points to real stress. And of course, they learn. They are smart. If whining gets them attention or food, you better believe they're going to use it. Okay, what about the classic dog howling at a siren? We've all seen it. We think they're just being silly or maybe imitating the noise, but what's really going on is way cooler, and it's totally ancestral. The frequency of that siren is incredibly similar to the frequency of another dog's howl. So your dog isn't imitating a siren. They think they're hearing a distant call from another dog, and they're joining in. Now, all of this, it's all building to what I think is the most surprising and frankly amazing part of this whole story. This language, it didn't just evolve for dogs to talk to other dogs. It has been specifically shaped and adapted to talk to us. Just think about it for a second. Have you ever noticed that your dog vocalizes way more with you than they do with other dogs? I mean, when they're playing at the park, it's mostly body language. But with you, it's barks, whines, the whole shebang. Why is that? Well, the evidence is pretty undeniable. Studies show dogs bark way more often and use a ton more variety when they're around humans. Why? because they've figured out that we're kind of clueless when it comes to their body language or their scent signals. But sound? Oh yeah, we react to sound. Get this, they've even been shown to adjust their pitch when they're talking to babies versus grown-ups. That is not random instinct. That is clear, targeted, communicative intent. So, the answer to the big question, why? It's actually incredibly simple. They do it because we're the only ones who respond. And this is where it all clicks into place. In a very, very real sense, barking at humans is a learned language. Over thousands of years by our side, they have literally tailored a vocal language just for us. How amazing is that? So, the big takeaway here is, how do we start listening today? Well, the good news is you don't have to memorize a giant dictionary. You just need to tune your ear to a few core principles. First up, remember this. Tone equals emotion. The overall tone is going to tell you how they're feeling. Are they happy, scared, excited? Listen to the tone. Next, pitch equals intent. This tells you what they want. Is it a friendly high pitch or a warning low pitch? That's their intention right there. And finally, rhythm equals structure. This is the punctuation. A single bark is like a period. Rapid barks are like a bunch of exclamation points. It gives the message its shape. Which brings us to this final thought, and it's a powerful one. Your dog has been talking to you the whole time. You just did not know how to listen. This whole time, they haven't been silent. They've just been waiting for us to finally learn their language.